Hello everybody, my name is Zenokami from Essence of Zen. If you're like me, you grew up playing at least one of the many Harvest Moon games. Despite many revamps with games such as Rune Factory, there weren't many games that could capture the wonders of a deepening game with a simplified concept such as Harvest Moon. Until now. Thanks to the developer Concerned Ape, we now have Stardew Valley, a wonderful spiritual successor to the classic Harvest Moon style, but with much more modern takes, incorporating a far more enriching experience when interacting with your neighbors and their lives, as well as interacting with the environment despite being just a simple farmer. But why are you a farmer? Exactly what is the story? You play the grandson of an old farmer who leaves you his farmland. You're told to go here if you ever feel stuck in life. This actually turns out to be the case after working in a company named Yo-Yo Corporation with a coked up Woody from Toy Story as your co-worker. You move to the small area known as Pelican Town, which is housed in the Stardew Valley. Here you start your life as a farmer, but there's a catch however. Yo-Yo Corporation currently has their fingers in Pelican Town through their grocery store Yo-Yo Mart. You're offered two choices. One, stay true to the community and help rebuild the community center and be the beacon of hope your community needs, or two, join Yo-Yo Mart and help use your funds to turn the community center into a warehouse and aid the corporate entity. Which path do you choose? That's your decision. Now remember when I said you also affect the environment in an enriching way? Well, Stardew Valley continues in the weirdness just as Harvest Moon did with the sprites. I won't spoil anything for you, but the simple fact that there's a friggin' wizard's tower on your map, yes, a wizard's friggin' tower, should incite your curiosity of this world that you're living in. Nevertheless, that's just what happens when you're dealing with the people. One of the most pulling concepts of the game is the NPCs, and that's rare to see in my opinion nowadays. These neighbors of yours each have their own lives. They do operate on a simple yet large time frame, but their dialogue can actually be rather deep. You may discover a friend who's having issues at home, people who are struggling with alcohol abuse, people who have family somewhere else in dangerous situations, even secret relationships between people. It is so bloody brilliant. Concerned Ape made sure the game could branch into these areas, sometimes even in dark manners, but quickly pull you back to a somber, light mood. And you're often given a choice to how pivotal conversations can actually turn out. It's so good. It's really good. Concerned Ape, if you place yourself as a character into the game, I'd marry that character. After all, marriage is a part of, you guessed it, the gameplay. I've already stated that this is essentially a spiritual successor to Harvest Moon. So there is farming, tilling, raising of animals, pettings of dogs or cats, watering crops, and getting mad when you forget to water that one single crop and it causes your perfect schedule of growth to be out of whack. What's also nice is the ability to make artisan goods, things like honey, mayo, oil, syrup, cocaine, cheese, wine, beers, and you can cook! You can also use lightning to make batteries and go searching in mines to fight ghosts, skeletons, slimes, and etc. Yes, you get the chance to fight ghosts, skeletons, and slimes, and even more. You also gather gems and ores to smelt into ingots. There's just so much you can do. The game can be played with a controller or a traditional keyboard and mouse, Team PC all the way, baby. I opted in to be in the middle, and I often play with a Steam controller. If you'd like me to make my controller setup public, just feel free to ask. I will make the actual layout public and you can download it for your Steam controller, etc. A lot of the time, the controls can be pretty simple. You can use the walk/sprint button depending on what you have set to auto to see where you're using your tool, as where you click does dictate where you use your tool. Generally, I found everything to be intuitive regardless of using my Steam controller or the keyboard and mouse. And I think it's intuitive due to the game's visuals and sounds. The game features a classic pixel design, but on a palette that offers a pretty deep gambit of color. You're going to notice gradients, shadows, and generally a ton of attention to detail. That's not to say that there aren't bugs with the visuals. There are a few sprites issues where you can see the cutoff lines of some sprite sheets of certain items, or if a farm building is built in certain areas such as a silo, the tip may be covered improperly by the landscape's background design. But I'm sure that these will be fixed, and I'll tell you why later. Anyways, as the seasons change, you will notice what was once a luscious green is now a deep yet vibrant purple, and it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. Stardew Valley proves that graphics aren't essentially everything, not in the sense of low poly counts or having only bits, be it 8 or 32 or even 16 in between, but rather every style can display a form of beauty. And the beauty that your eyes are witnessing is also complemented by the amazing soundscape and sound design. From the music choice, which again feels very Harvest Moon-like, is uplifting, upbeat without being too annoying, which is very important if you're doing simple tasks. And the music is followed suit by a fantastic ambiance of noises. The sound of water running, the mosquitoes buzzing in the summer, birds chirping, even the sounds of the blooming woodpecker is just so crisp. You'll even be weirded out at random. At least I think they're random. Concerned Ape, are they random? Sounds throughout the night and or while you're sleeping. It's creepy, and you're gonna love it. Speaking of Concerned Ape, here's a special mention. It's not every day that I have this many positive things to say about a game, especially when it's made by one single developer. Now, I'm not currently sure exactly how much was done by Concerned Ape alone. I feel completely horrible with leaving out the fact that I'm pretty sure he's received help along the way, even if it's a small portion, but majority, if not 99.999% of the work is documented to be done by the developer Concerned Ape. And when I say this gentleman deserves praise, I mean it. He's been in constant contact with the previous testers during the development cycles, and at the day one of the full release of the game, he's been active on forums, Reddit, Twitter, and more, making note of all bugs and suggestions posted, and even responded to them, released patches as soon as possible so he could fix them. I don't care what arguments you may bring to discredit this much interaction. It's a small game, it's a single team. No, I don't care. Concerned Ape's interaction is a breath of fresh air, and the fact that he's only changed things that he himself feels needed to be changed, as in not backing down to people's complaint about a mechanic that he personally liked and wants to keep, is something that I support and value, because it keeps the integrity of his vision of his project. It's just something you don't see every day. So again, Concerned Ape, thank you. Overall thoughts. So my overall thoughts are pretty simple. I like this game. I love this game. It's my kind of game. It's well crafted. And when I finish experiencing the core of the game's mechanics, you bet your sweet subscribing behind that I'm going to review it. My bias aside though, the game is solid. If you're into games like Harvest Moon, Rune Factory, or have been interested in these types of things, then I highly plead you to not skip out on Stardew Valley. It is worth the $15 on Steam or through their site, if not more in my opinion. If you're interested in the game, go grab it. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. I cannot praise this game enough. I've already wasted over 20 some odd hours in the span of 2 or 3 days, and I'm a college student. So I've neglected some work, not to mention video work. So I digress. If you like this spotlight, please show it by leaving a like. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe and recommend the game that you'd like me to cover, if in fact I can get to it. If you'd like to support Essence of Zen, then feel free to check out our website and forum to learn about the many ways you can help us, and share the video so we can reach more people and spread this game to many more as well. Your input affects how our content is made, so please voice your opinions in that comment section below. You can find a link to the game in the description below. As always, I will see you in the next video, so why not check out our previous videos like Behind the League series, such as episode 1 with Icon or episode 2 with Nubia, or one of our previous Indie Game Spotlight videos. Until then though, I've been Zenokami. As always, take care.
You